Thank you. Test, test. Is this thing on? So, hey, very quickly, we're going to help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. Very good. Now, then, quick back here, summarizing this up because I just talked about this because I forgot to push record real quick. Go Team exists because we want to equip busy coaches with the essentials to help build thriving businesses that help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. So the idea, again, essentials, and they will thrive in their businesses. If we equip you and cut out a lot of the junk, a lot of the fat that maybe isn't necessary, and help you equip with the essentials, you're going to be successful. Okay, moving on. Free challenge, guys. It's crazy. So, like, the goal was 500, and I was thinking, I set the 500 goal as like the pie in the sky goal. So we hit. Hey, there's Risa. We hit the pie in the sky goal. I was thinking, maybe 350. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. We're currently over 650 people in our Super Abs challenge. Okay, as the kids say, that's cray, yo. Wow. Seriously, come on, guys. That's like a movement. How awesome. I'm so pumped for it, and it's so great. Now, okay, give me your feedback, and please be honest. Are there any things that I need to tweak a little bit? I did record all these ahead of time, but if there's editing choices that I can make to help, how did you guys' impressions of the free challenge? Any feedback at this point? Any questions that you have?
No.
Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
I think your editing was good because I was actually there recording it with you. I think you did well.
How did you like the random kid? Yes.
That's perfect. That's
Oh,
perfect.
Leo was awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think that there are so many videos out there that are like, oh, look, we're perfect. And I think like Tony Horton talks about sometimes where sometimes you just want to see people just busting it out and working hard and maybe complaining about it a little bit or something doesn't go quite perfectly and just be real about it.
Yeah.
I think you're better off.
So we had one of the participants, one of the film people's kids was there, and he's just had his iPod, just started walking right through the middle. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're not going to.
Taking pictures and click, 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 click.
Oh, it was awesome. So anyway, I'm glad it worked out. So okay, and you all are aware now of the coach guide, right? Within the within the coach group, the Go Team Coach Club, right? Y'all aware of that? So that's sort of the outline. You can feel free to use as much of that or as little of that as you want, but we wanted to give you an outline so you knew what was coming, so you can start prepping towards that end. Because here's the deal: if we're going to be about helping equip you as busy coaches, we want it to be very effective use of your time when you're doing these, as you're doing these challenges and you're following up with your people. You have a sense of where this is all headed versus, I don't know where this is headed. I'm just going to try to build, and maybe it'll be a challenge someday, and good luck, everybody. I hope we have a good time in this challenge, and then we're done, and what do we do next? I don't know. Maybe we should think about that. You know what I mean? So we're trying to think ahead enough so you guys are equipped for the future. So this is more of a process versus a product in the long run. Okay? I think we're gonna feel that much more comfortable inviting to this in the long run, which is I'm so excited to share with you in a second. Okay, so details. This is very specific. Webinar details. This I didn't put it on here. It says Thursday. It should be Thursday. So look, I will do this. I can totally edit this on the fly. You mentioned Jason. See if there's So off the seat of your, flying by the seat of your pants a little bit. There we go. Bam, bam. Okay, so Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going to be a 40-minute webinar. Now, here's the concern that I'm sure some of you have, because we are going to present the 21-day fix. And I want you to be at ease that this is not going to be a high-pressure situation, okay? It's going to lay out very specifically 5 legit, real ways to get to a leaner you, okay? That are not necessarily Beachbody related. Okay, you could relate some of them to Beachbody. That's great. But then particularly the 5th one is going to be about portion control. Okay, And that's where we're going to segue then into the 21-day fix, okay? There are other great Beachbody programs, like we talked a little bit about in the last call. We believe so wholeheartedly in the ease and the on-ramp of the 21-day fix particularly. And then for the next version, if you want to do either, you want to do 21-day fix extreme, potentially Insanity Max 30 because now it has portion control as well. For more advanced people, if you want to kind of point them there. But we are doing 21-day challenge, a 21-day challenge following this, okay, the webinar. So important date to remember here, guys, is going to be Monday, February 23rd. And I'm going to say this.
Not February.
Oh, sorry, March. Monday, March 23rd, thank you, is going to be the important date that you're going to remember. And the reason why is we are going to try to create challenge, not challenge group, because with this many people potentially in a 650-person challenge, I'm hoping and praying for groups, that we have to have groups. Because if we had a group, we'd be probably up in the 80, 90, 100 range of people. Who knows? I'm just praying big on this, okay? So the idea is we're going to have probably multiple groups that we are going to need some of you to step up and lead. Got it? If you're interested in leading a group, a challenge group, we're going to have to take you through some training between now and then about how we want these groups to be run. Because some of you, I'm just being really honest, some of you have never been part of a very effective challenge group, okay? And you can, I don't know if anybody raise their hands, but sometimes it's like one of those deals. I remember initially, early on in my Beachbody experience, I was not part of a very effective challenge group. So when I had to run my own challenges initially, they were stinky. They're awful. They're horrible. I mean, they weren't fun at all. People would start, we'd start for the first 2 days, and then people would fall off. Nobody would participate. Nobody would check in. And I'd be like, oh, type. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How come you didn't check in today? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And then they'd be like silence for the rest. They'd be like, and so I didn't know how to coach that. And I didn't set myself up for success. We want to change that, okay? And I've said this. Stacy, are you on the line? Stacy, you there? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
So pardon my French here, guys, for 2 seconds. I said the specific word. Stacy, and you can vouch for this. I said the word, I said, challenge groups suck. I just literally said it because I was like, we were in like a dearth. People weren't participating. It was awful. And then I think we finally have figured it out. Liz, are you agreeing on that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here's the thing. For those of you who have maybe done the groups where it's a real pain in the butt, where you have to actually you get in the group and then you ask people to do point system. You ask them to count how many, if they post, you get a tally point and then you win prizes at the end and blah, 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 blah. I'm not, you guys are way too busy for that. We're not going to run groups that are a lot. I want you helping people, not counting points. Got me? So I want you guys to be able to be effective coaches and to really help people with physical transformations than worried about, did they post the fun picture of the day? Drives me crazy. So we want to help train you well on that. More coming up on that as we get closer to the date. It'll be next week. We'll give details about what it looks like to do a little mini training session on running an effective challenge group with the Go team. Okay, so webinar details. It's going to be pointing to that challenge, those challenges that are going to start on the 23rd of March. Got it? We're going to move on real quick here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Quick drink, though. Okay, so 10,000 foot view. If you view a mountain, everybody's probably been on a plane for the most part, right? You view a mountain from 10,000 feet. It looks quite a bit different than when you look up at it from the ground. Agreed, right? So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to give you the 10,000 foot view of what we're doing here, okay? We want to try to give you the 10,000 foot view so you understand part of the method to our madness, okay? So last week we talked a little bit about this specifically. We mentioned 2 restaurants. I'm not sure does everybody have Hardee's anywhere near them? Thumbs up if you do in the chat. Okay, or whatever. Sounds good. So Hardee's versus Five Guys. Has everyone been Five Guys? It's also maybe close to In-N-Out Burger if you're out,
Yeah.
kind of the thing. Most of us are more Midwesty, I think, for the most part. So you got Hardee's versus Five Guys. Now, here's the thing about Hardee's, guys. If you take a look at that menu, we got the Frisco burger, the Monster burger. We got some burgers. We got buffalo chicken. We got a turkey burger. We got onion rings, there's fries, and then you got all their ice cream stuff that they do, and then there's barbecue chicken, quesadilla thing, and these patty melts, and all this stuff, and chicken tenders, blah, blah, blah. Ham and cheese, there's a hot dog. Okay, so the menu, I mean, now granted, it's not the most extensive menu, but here's the deal. They sell a lot of stuff, okay? And I would just say, honestly, if you've ever been Hardee's, never been Hardee's, Hardee's not very good. it's of fast food. It's not just that it's bad for you. It just doesn't taste very good. It's just not, okay? Now, if you've been to Five Guys, you got 4 choices in terms of burger world, right? You got hamburger, cheeseburger, bacon burger, bacon cheeseburger, and then you've got some hot dogs, and then you've got fries. That's it. And you got drinks. So, guys, simpler. Now, here's the deal. Both are effective, like to some degree within their thing. But in terms of like drawing people and like loyalty, so I would think like here's the deal in our area. So if somebody's like getting out, hey, I'm thinking about going to more of a fast food place. I've got about $5-10 to spend. You know what, guys, family, let's go to Hardee's. That just doesn't. No one says that, right? No one says it. Five Guys, totally. Might be more of a thing. Hey, guys, want to go to Five Guys? Sounds good. Yeah, I love the fries there. That's great. But no one really goes, hey, it's kind of like Denny's. So you guys have Denny's too. It's like, hey, guys, we're going to Denny's. It's like, oh, really? No way. So too many choices, not very great quality, and ultimately people aren't loyal to it. Okay? Five Guys, you get more people are more loyal. Like, sorry, again, this is all fast food. This is all horrible for you, but you get my analogy. So what we're trying to do, guys, is we're trying to help you build a business. And like we said before, we want to help you simplify and cut through to the essentials of building a business. And we want to try to decipher what that is. And that really focuses around several things that are essential. So what tools do we use when we are building a business? And we've got lots of options potentially. You can do a challenge, you can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, YouTube. You got challenges, you got groups, you got challenge packs, you got all these different things you can invite people to. But here's the thing. If it boils down to it all, in terms of you building your business, there are 3 vitals that we are not going to change. And they're the same 3 vitals that corporate has. And it's, of course, we're not going to invent something new with a company that has done some great, great things as its foundation. Now, our expression of that might be a little bit different, and that's okay. So 3 vital behaviors, real quickly. You got to be a product of the product, right? You got to be able to know that you're getting your workouts in, you're drinking your Shakeology on a daily basis. You are able to, with all integrity, when you say to somebody and they go, hey, the Shakeology thing, how you doing? With all integrity, you can say, yep, drink it every day. Love it. And or hey, I've got a favorite flavor and this is what it is, favorite recipe, or however you want to handle it. You got to be that product of the product. If you're skipping here and there, you drink maybe once or twice a week and you get lots of bags left over, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to feel as strong inside about this product, and it's probably not going to give you as great of a results, okay? So just being specific about that product of the product, you are doing something with that. And also, I'm going to tell you this, guys, as we get into the system here, being part of the product is also being part of the challenges themselves. Because what can happen is we can get lazy and we can be the referees, right, in a game and just kind of step back and we're not really playing. We're just sort of like managing everybody. And then what really happens in terms of our fitness and our nutrition is like, I didn't really work out today. I was spending my time really working on with my challengers. I wanted to make sure they were okay. Or, planning meals. I didn't really do it yet because, I was working on this whole, recipe guide for them and blah, blah, blah. No. You're part of the challenge too. You're just as much, and it will help you stay accountable. I remember initially part of the reason why I got started in the whole coaching thing in itself was because I wanted to be held accountable. I wanted to be people to ask me and say, look, hey, Dan, how's it going? And if I'm a coach, I want to be able to say, yep, It's going well. It's going really well. Or maybe, you can have some struggles here and there. But for the most part, the direction of it is that I'm keeping that strong, okay? Very important. Number 2, personal development. It's a non-negotiable, guys. And I'm not saying that it has to be a situation where you are, you're reading like for 40 minutes a day or something crazy, but minimally some kind of book that you're reading. Now, for those of you who are more spiritually minded, maybe you read the Bible, maybe you've got, I don't know exactly what you got going on, maybe you got some kind of devotional life. I want to speak to you specifically because I did this too as well. I wouldn't count your spiritual time as your personal development time, making those equal. And here's the reason why. I think the spiritual time is do it. Absolutely. It should be part of who you are. And that's a great expression. But in terms as it relates to your business, there are specific skills and specific skill sets that you need to learn about. Okay. Just like we would, if we were going to learn how to fish, we wouldn't go, you know what? I mean, granted, okay, the Bible talks about fishers of men, but it's not a toolkit to like learn how to fish for bass, right? So if you're going to learn how to fish for bass, you need to be able to study how to fish for bass, right? Same thing when it comes to personal development. So if you're learning, maybe it's just like, I got to get my mindset straight, or I need better organization. I need to be able to prioritize my day. I need to, whatever particular aspect of personal development you're trying to do. It's not always going to be necessarily specifically addressed by your studies when it comes to spiritual stuff. So I'm just saying that as a guy who does that, okay? So make sure you're doing some stuff in addition to that leadership stuff that's really going to help you to develop as a person, and specifically with a field that you're trying to study, okay? Personal development, very, very critical. 10 minutes a day. Highly suggest audible.com if you're not doing that. Big thing, big tool, important, or great stuff for you to listen to great audio. About $15 a month if you can afford it. I know it's a little bit expensive, but it's great. Finally, invite. Let's get into it. This is going to be part of our main process and how the Go team is going to equip you. Okay? Now, so we're going to ask this because I've gotten a little bit of feedback on this already. Part of what we need to do initially in this is to sacrifice short-term, to sacrifice maybe some of your uniqueness. Okay? And I know this is cringe sometimes. We're like, oh, I love helping the people the way it's working for me. But okay, totally get it. Love it. Don't stop some of that stuff. But you take some time to learn a little bit about what we're doing within this Go team thing, okay? For long term to be able to create duplication. So you have to sacrifice a little bit of the uniqueness up in the short term. And long-term ability to duplicate. That's what we're trying to do because we want to teach you a little bit more about the system in order that you can duplicate at least the core principles of it. It doesn't have to look the same because down the line there's going to be a situation, guys, where we maybe won't hold these ginormous things because honestly, if we have 650 on this one, who knows, we might have 1,000 on the next if we did another challenge, and that's not a bad thing, but understanding, guys, hello. Wow, that was lots of noise. Anyway, okay, so you got the point of that. So what are we really inviting people to, guys? And we mentioned this before, is that we want to invite people to something, not a product. Because if we just invite people to product, what do you end up being? A salesperson, right? You end up being a salesperson. So if we're just inviting to a product, they're never going to experience the transformational power of this, okay? Because they'll turn off. They'll go, oh, you're trying to sell me, shut off, boom, done, okay? So we want to really help you have an invite process that makes sense. Invite, and this is how we're going to work it. Just like we started today. We want you to invite to free challenges each month. We're going to hold a free challenge each month, and we're going to have a calendar set up, optional potentially if you wanted to like sign up for that calendar. It's completely optional. Let us know. But the idea is that you would have then a regular schedule of free challenges. So here's the thing. Almost no one, unless they have an injury or something like that, or unless they just absolutely don't like you, they are probably going to accept an invite to a free challenge for the most part. Now, maybe the timing doesn't work out. Maybe they've got a vacation. Maybe they've got a kid, whatever. Next month. Cool. Can I put you on the list for next month? Great. Sounds awesome. So I'll put you on the next list for next month. So you'll know that there's going to be a next month because we're going to be consistent about absolutely delivering great quality every month to you. So just so you know, we're already brewing a little bit about next month's. And also, we're going to challenge some of you. If you want to put together one of these on your own, up to you. Got it? You don't necessarily follow exactly what we do. But here's the deal. If you follow the calendar of what we do, we can equip you better, right? So if the framework stays there, but then the flexibility then becomes, hey, we're going to all start groups, free challenges on X date. And, it's really pretty cool. So check this out. So free challenges lead into pay challenges. And just like we talked about before, there is that process, and we'll talk about how the bridge from free challenge to paid challenge happens. And then finally from paid challenges, you go into the coaching opportunity. Now, I'm playing around with the idea of, instead of calling it paid challenge, I'm playing around with the idea of maybe calling it a premium challenge. I don't know if that's the word, something that paid, whatever. But you get the gist. So free challenges, paid challenges means you're basically buying a challenge pack. You're on Shakeology, you're doing a Beachbody workout. And obviously coaching opportunity, we invite people to that. Now, free challenges. You understand why start free? It's the Chalene Johnson principle, guys. How many of y'all have signed up to any of Shalene's stuff? Anybody? Raise your hand. Anybody seen Shalene's? Thumbs up? Yes? Okay. So Shalene's stuff, guys, she offers high value for free. Am I right? If you guys understand, I mean, it is legit. The videos look amazing. She's offering genuinely great value. It's not like way held back, scaled back value. It's really great value. But she ultimately is going to invite you to something later. She's going to ask you to buy her book. She's going to ask you to come to her Smart Success. She's got lots of different things that she can do it in terms of her income flow. Okay? And different courses that she teaches and things like that. Okay? So free challenges, important. We've got options on that. We've got these super challenges. We do have some that are also like 14-day challenges that you can do. We've decided to land on the 5-day, and I talked about this last week on Thursday's initial kind of call, was that the 5-day, what it does, guys, is it's Monday through Friday, and it's done early enough that people then don't fizz out on the weekend. Because generally it's like we said on Thursday, is that people tend to be strong for the first 3-4 days, and then 5th days, and then 6th day, I've seen it completely shut down. If you've ever run a 7-day, that sort of tends to be the thing that happens. Okay. By the way, that is a very cute baby. Hi, baby. Hi, Sheila. Nice to see you. Very good. Okay, so paid challenges. We're going to move into that. Paid challenges, and this is specifically we talked about, the 23rd for this particular month is coming up. Paid challenges, double them down, however we want to do this. We can theme them differently. And here's the flexibility. We will give branding to you if you want it. We're going to create branding, okay? We're going to keep it pretty generic. And so you guys can have branding that can go for you and work for you. So you can send out invites with that way. You can also have branding that would be your banners and that kind of stuff. Or if you want the flexibility and you love doing that, go for it. Create it, whatever fits your vibe and your style and your team. Okay? But we're going to start on the 23rd if you want to be part of this system. Okay? Very important. Then, guys, the big thing in specifically, there is a bridge using webinars. Okay, so like we talked about for this on this coming Thursday, we've got that bridge between the free and the paid challenge is going to be your webinar. Now check this out. If you're a new coach, brand new coach. Now some of you aren't new coaches. So for a minute with me, warp back to the time when you were a new coach. Okay, put yourself in that mindset. You don't know squat. You don't even know what a challenge pack is maybe. You barely know how the back office works. No clue what a thing called coaching codes is, or sorry, Jason, yours. But the idea of you have, literally you have such very little knowledge of this. You've done a challenge. That's about it. You know about Shakeology a little bit, and you know your program. That's about it. Okay. So imagine that person is invited now. You as that person, you've invited people to this free challenge. And then now you go, okay, I got these people in this free challenge. Now what do I do? I don't know. Do I reach out to them? Do I go, hey man, do you want to buy my thing? Or how do I do that? I don't even know. I saw this Tommy Migrant training, but I don't know. That just seems that's really crazy. I mean, it is good stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. But for the new coach, it might be easier than going by starting with all you have to do is go, hey, guess what? There's this 5 Ways to a Leaner You webinar. Let's try it. Why don't you come with me? And you met. So in that paper that we gave to you in the or that document we gave to you in the Coach Club, it's going to help you get the person from the free challenges. You build that relationship, form that relationship, help them, invite them to the webinar that says 5 Ways to a Leaner You. You give them more value even before you make the ask. So how good is that? Now we've developed a relationship where you've built this trust. And at the end, like I said, it's not going to be a bait and switch, because I promise you, I will deliver this in a way that will help you. It won't feel salesy. It's going to be a natural flow where people will feel out when they go, wow, that seems like a good thing to even at least take a look at. And what we'll do then is ask them to purchase and look at joining a premium challenge with 21 Day Fix. Okay? Again, meant to be that on-ramp for you guys to get that bridge from pay for free challenges to paid. Then within our paid challenges, okay, we're offering the ideas, because if we're starting those on a regular date with most of the team, guys, here's the deal. It's like inconsistency. In consistency, we can have numbers where we're able to then resource energy towards the same thing. So then on day, let's say 10, let's see, 7 plus 5, day 12-ish, 11, 12. So we're on that area that Thursday night into your paid challenge. Guess what we offer? Webinar. This time, it's going to talk to people about helping them pay for their Shakeology and get a better, basically getting a discount on their Shakeology so they can move forward. Coaching opportunity is going to be presented during that time. And we'll talk about maybe how some people are they're feeling like they love their progress. Maybe they love that they're seeing other people get helped. They love when we started in a free challenge, and it's all about helping. And they want to join this movement. And it's like, man, and I love this team. And they're all about energy. They're positive. And, let's do this. And so we present the coaching opportunity. And again, it points back to you, both these webinars. So it's the paid challenge webinar, points back to you, the coach. We don't take that. It's not so we're saying at the end of that webinar, hey, contact the person who invited you to this, and we'll make sure that you are in on the next challenge. Got it? Same thing with coaching opportunity. Contact your coach who helped you get to this webinar, and then we'll see about helping sign you up as a coach. Got it? Make sense? So coaching opportunity is doing what you like is freedom. Liking what you do is pure happiness. Okay? So again, our process, free challenges, going to paid challenges. Ultimately, that should be coaching opportunity. Got it?
So, hey, Dan.
Yes, go.
So a question that I'll toss you here just real quick. This is really outlining the system so that people can understand really what the flow is, what the timing is, how to do these things, and especially so that new coaches or coaches who may not be comfortable with all of these pieces can plug in and get accustomed to the process, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
If they at some point decide, you know what, I'm going to do my own 5 ideas for getting ripped webinar and invite to that, when they're ready to do that, they definitely can. It's not saying that we need to all huddle together and do this like this forever. However, following the plan, following the schedule allows us to invite people so that, you know what, I only have 1 or 2 people that said yes. It's going to be tough to have a whole webinar. Why don't I combine forces with a couple other coaches here? As long as you're on that same timeline, you can do that so that you don't have to worry about getting stranded.
Yeah, and that's a great point too, because especially on like paid challenges too thing. So if you don't have enough people to sign up, guys, and here's the thing, we are asking, this is part of the whole process of running these paid challenge groups. You are not a lone ranger. You are too busy to be a lone ranger. You got me on that too, specifically? You're too busy to be a lone ranger on this and run your own group. Our whole point is to get minimally 3 coaches actively working on challenge groups, okay? And then there might be a point leader, and that's fine, that's great. But then 2 people who are helping with the posts and also helping encourage into the group. But then what happens is ultimately that group, then they learn how to run a challenge well. And then what happens is that maybe that lead person who is a lead person says, okay, new lead person, next month, you're leading the next group. I'm going to go get my own group and start another 2 people. And guess what happens? The magic of duplication, right? Because we've trained people in the system, they feel comfortable, and then they can always turn back to that original person who helped them launch the group. They will have a support system that is very specific and very practical because they'll know, hey, I'm on day 4, and guess what? You're on day 4 too. What are you posting now? Well, I'm posting about blank, all right, whatever, that might help. So having the same dates, guys, it really does work out. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work out perfectly because there might be spots where sometimes on a couple months it's going to happen where people in certain parts of the country have certain things going on or other things. We'll have to see, we'll just kind of play this out as much as we can, but I think that's sort of the idea, okay? Now, I want to very quickly cover in about 1 minute here because I want to be done by 45 because I believe that these need to be 45 minutes, no longer. National wake-up calls are no longer than about 45 minutes. And let's face it, I'm not as good as those guys. We're not as good as those guys. So just trying to keep your time interest in good shape. So once we do get, and this is the part that I'm also very excited about, once we do get people to sign up as coaches, we want them going through a very specific and very regular set of training, okay? And I think some of you have felt frustration on this because in the past we've sort of had spots where we change stuff up a lot and we're like, okay, it's going to be a new way of doing, and we've got boot camp, and it's going to be 30 days, or it's 21, and it's 14, and a new start, and I don't know. What we want to try to do is find some consistency for you and to really help you just get a system that you can then feel comfortable inviting people to. Because I'll be honest, in the past, I've been in a situation where I might have somebody who's interested or been, maybe be a good potential, but I was actually concerned because I didn't know how to equip them well. And the system at the time was just so chaotic that I'm like, I don't know if I want to invite them to this because their life is already chaotic enough. I don't want to add chaos to their chaos. So what we're going to try to do, Jason is really be a spearhead on this because he's awesome at it. But what we're going to do is create a 4-course system in this. But here's the deal. The foundation of all of this is going to be based on mentoring. The way that you develop people is one-on-one. The way you develop people is one-on-one. Now, we all can't develop 50 people simultaneously, but we can probably develop 3. Okay? So the point is, from the beginning, we want you to be mentored. I'm currently mentoring people who will be eventually mentoring people. Got it? How we're going to work this out? So the whole idea is that you'll probably initially experience, and we'll kind of roll this out as we go, where you're going to be able to get some mentoring. How did that happen? Mentoring in order that you would then be mentored, and then you can mentor others. Okay, so based on mentoring, 101 Coach Start Training. Okay, it's Coach Start Training group. Ultimately, that's going to be we're trying to narrow it down to 7 days ish. Okay. We're debating on this is probably going to be more of the idea of individual based, where it's blasted to you via an email with a little bit of support. Boy, I must have some kind of electrical charge. I'm drawing lines on my screen. This is random. Sorry, guys. There it is. 101, Coach Start Training, 7 days. 201, Coach Basics Boot Camp for 21 days. Guess what? You have to go through 101 in order to get to 201. Amazing. Okay, so that's how that works. Then from 201, we'll shift you then into 301. We're going to kick it into high gear. Still trying to figure out what the name of that would be. But the basis of that is, guys, is helping you break through your limiting beliefs. Because usually at that 301 level, it's the person who is going from emerald to diamond, okay? So if you can understand it, so the beginning person there is up front, is just kind of getting their feet wet. 201 is basically getting a person from coach to emerald. And then 301 is from emerald to diamond. The issue is there's often limiting beliefs that prevent people from getting from emerald to diamond. And then from diamond beyond, we're going to try to train you in high performer training. I'm going to be getting some specific high performer training myself as well. So then I can breathe life into the whole team that way based on some of Brendan Burchard's stuff. You guys know the book called The Charge. Okay. So getting some specifically of that, getting, I'm going to pay some money to get trained in this so then I can ultimately train our team. And then you guys will all be master trainer awesomeness. It'll be great. So that's the idea. We'll get more into that on a future call. Jay, our little thing that we were going to do, I'm going to hold off on. Okay. Sound good? So I want to thank you guys for attending. Next week, we're going to cover, so March 2nd, our call is really going to focus in on the idea of breaking out into this, what these paid challenges are going to look like, because we'll have finished the free challenge. We want to kind of just walk through this logically. So instead of having a random set of calls each week, and it's like, I don't know what the topic's going to be. It's going to be something about whatever and blah, blah, blah. We're going to kind of walk through the process. Now, we are going to certainly pay attention to what's going on in corporate. So corporate world, we obviously got things like just being aware of this, guys. So you got like Beachbody on Demand's going on. We just got that hitting. You notice the T25 challenge packs on sale. You notice the T Turbo Fire challenge packs on sale. All that kind of good stuff. You want to be aware of that. But what we do, again, we're not just selling products, because if we just focus on that and we focus on Success Club points, even though that's a good gauge, it still doesn't help you with process. So if we focus on process, you'll get product. I believe it to the core of my being. You'll get it if we focus on this process and you develop people, then you're going to see success in this thing. And it's going to be exponential and it's going to explode your business. I really believe it, guys. And I'm not trying to sound salesy, not trying to sound like Tony Robbins or whatever. But I really believe, guys, that we're gonna blow this up because we're gonna follow a system that's gonna be logical and you're gonna feel equipped. Okay? Yes, we'll have some bumps along the way, so just bear with us. We're trying our best. But our goal, guys, is to really, again, like we said before, we really want to help you. And we want you to succeed. And we want you to be all that you can be, so then you can be there for others to help them be all they can be. Okay? So that's pretty much it for tonight. Any questions, guys, before we sign off? Jason, did you have anything?
No, this is great. And I think that, to Dan's point, just every week having these calls be focused on something and make sure that we have at least one takeaway that's actionable so that you can actually do something. Because I think it's so easy to get stuck on the what, but really get down to the how, right? It's like, okay, I understand I should invite, but we want to really get really specific on ways to invite and specific things to say, things not to say, and how to tell if you're on the right track or not with some of those invitation things. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
It.
And I think, specifically now, like obviously, even at this late moment, you could still potentially invite a few people probably to the free challenge. You really could, because they could just make up it was a 3-minute workout from today. Not a big deal. So if you still want to do that a little bit, go ahead and do it. If that's a great actionable point that you can take as to get into our process, because that's part of what we're trying to do. Not just a bunch of random stuff that's all together. Okay? Good, guys. We'll post this in the coach group. Please, if there are coaches that you have that could benefit from seeing this, this is going to be one of those that we're going to probably want to point people back to a little bit just so they understand the process. Because if they don't understand this whole process, then they're going to be kind of left out and like, I'm not sure how it all fits. So this will probably be one of those where we're going to train with a little bit just so people can have an idea where we're going. Okay? Great job, everybody. Good work.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.